I'm doing pretty good, man. I tell you this right now, man. I have a lot of thoughts going on surrounding a whole lot of things when it comes to gaming, especially cloud gaming, Stadia platform, and the community and all that stuff. But today, I think this is going to be a fun show, man. I have a lot of fun built up right now. You know what I'm saying? A lot of fun and energy. So I just want to go ahead and just let it all out upon your heads today. You know what I'm saying? Like I always try to do, y'all. When keeping it real at the same time, it's going to be hard to balance keeping it real at the same time, y'all. I'm going to try my best, to stay positive and keep it real. So here's the deal, MM. A lot has transpired, man. And I know I'm not hosting right now. Y'all, listen, let me tell you something. I was supposed to host today, right? And at the last minute, I was like, bro, man, can you please host for me today, man? I got a lot going on, MM. Yeah. He's like, sure, man, no problem. I'm like, yo, that's what it's all about right there. So I apologize, y'all, for giving y'all the run around and everything. That I'm gonna put that solely on me, But we're here right now, and I'm ready to kick it off, man. A lot to talk about, you all, as usual. But MM doing pretty good, man. Well, you already know, man. You already know I'm behind the eight ball a little bit right now, but I'm about to pull the crowd up right now, man. We've been trying to, working so hard behind the scenes to bring y'all this show today. You know what I'm saying? To make sure that we're gonna be that we don't miss anything. That's the number one thing right there. So I'm pulling it up right now, and I can see already in the building. Cloud Gamer 201. We got Mr. Christian Woods in the house, y'all. You hear what I'm saying? Stated Dosage News is always here. If he wasn't, I'd be concerned. Project Kill, my brother, 810. Y'all see him right there. Hold on. Let me turn this sound down in the background. All right. So what's going on, everybody, so far? And then also we have who else? 22 saying hit that like button. FNs. You know what I'm saying? We got Stefan Robidas in the house. What's going on? Good day to you too. Artorias Towers is in the house. All right. We got Stadia Dad Games. We got Levy or Leva, Eli Levy. All right. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. But hey, good to see y'all up in the building. G Millie is in here. Christopher Torres. Man. It appears as if people are ready for this information, man, for this show today. And I want to say this. I appreciate you all right now. I appreciate you all the time. Hey, this right here is going to be a place of informative love. New terminology right there. You know what I'm saying? Informative love. That's what we're kicking today, MMCK. Informative love, man. That's what I mean, love for many things, love for the platform, love for the community, and all that good stuff, especially love for gaming. So, with that being said, man, let's go. Ooh, right. Hey, Emma, can they hear you? I wonder if they can hear you. Hold on, no sound. Tech loving mamas in the building said no sound. Is it just me? So I
Oh
wonder if
no,
they can
you know
hear me.
what? They
And
couldn't hear me. They couldn't hear me. Okay, sorry about that, y'all. My
oh man, that
apologies.
was great. Damn, you had to do that recap. That was
well,
a
let me, well,
great
well,
message too.
yeah. Let me say this: that the hell with damn OBS. I hate OBS. I'm gonna talk about that later in our performance section. OBS is trash, and OBS, you're about to lose my money. With that said, um, no, what I was saying, y'all, is that we're gonna talk about a campaign that we're using to highlight something Stadia related, not to circumvent or replace or challenge anything. And
Right.
we're getting that notion. And I think a lot of it is because there's the T word being thrown out in the community. That's the toxic word. And I'm here to tell y'all that this stuff that you're seeing in the Stadia community that irritates y'all so much that y'all feel is toxic, if y'all think that's toxic, then if Stadia or any of these other platforms make it to the big stage, please delete your Twitter accounts. I'm here to warn you now. Y'all ain't seen toxic like how you see in the PlayStation and the Xbox community. And I get it. A lot of you, ladies and gentlemen, are new to the social media aspect of gaming. Maybe Stadia invigorated you to do this and you got a whole different capsulized vision of how this works. Maybe one day what I'll do, Storm, is I'll bring on a Tim Dog, I'll bring on a Randolph Thor, I'll bring on a J Dub, a Porter Rock,
Yeah.
these people that are embedded on the big stage. I'll bring them on and we could talk about this level of quote unquote toxicity that we believe we see here opposed to what's really out there on the main stage. With all that said, I don't think toxicity is the problem. I think the lack of dialogue is a problem. Like for instance, me and Project Storm, if we gave you guys a hell of a show on Thursday, right? Where we and him argued about stuff, and none of us were wrong. It was just we were highlighting different opinions, and at the end of the day, we're still brothers. You know what I'm saying? But what we see a lot in this community is, oh, Project Storm, you don't agree with me. MM2K, you're a jackass. You don't agree with me, and then we go retreat to our own corners and talk stuff on each other in our own discords or whatever. I'm a part of all these communities, so I know what's going on. I'm not lying. I'm telling y'all the truth. So if we can get a better dialogue happening in this community, which around this initiative that we're going to talk about, I see a lot of great dialogue and I'm loving it. We're going to highlight some of it. But if we can get more of that going, instead of this demagoguing and this labeling and this name calling, then I think this community will be a lot better because of it. But with that said, this episode we're going to talk about just that. We're going to talk about the Stadia 100 campaign, which is creating a lot of buzz. The big Indies game debate. We got our homie Jason Schreier of Bloomberg News. He's blaming everybody for not focusing enough on Indies. We want to really take a look at that. We also want to take a look at the performance that you're dealing with Stadia, PC related, capture card related and stuff like that, because I was having a great discussion behind the scenes, Storm, with somebody about why are we putting 4K 60 on our videos? Is it a travesty? We have to do something. So we're going to have that discussion.
We have to talk about that.
We got to talk about that. We're going to have a discussion because we're going to educate people and go through this information thoroughly, because again, I don't know if it's because a lot of you are new to social media and gaming because of Stadia, which is a great thing, is introducing you. But if you are new to it, believe you me, the way social media works is way bigger than the rest of the gaming world. The way social media works for Stadia is way different. It's like living Amish all your life, and then when you turn 18 to go on your pillage, you see the world as it is, like, whoa, this is all brand new to me. So we're going to talk about it. So with that said, let me shut up real quick. I'll pay the bills later. Storm, what you been playing this week, good brother? They've heard too much from me. What you been playing this week?
Man, a very hefty and heavy dose of Outriders. You know what I'm saying? I've been playing a whole lot of that, y'all. I've been playing some PUBG. All right, a lot of that. I got on the Roku last night. Rogue Company, y'all. Roku, that's what we call it. Well,
yes,
actually,
yes, sir.
Project Kill in the chat, man. One day he called it Roku. So we've been calling it Roku. Y'all know what I'm saying? Like, that's what we do. If you mess some words up, we just go with it.
Yeah. Y'all know how I do.
Shout out to my bro, though. So look, man, I've been playing a whole lot of Death Stranding. I played some Doom Eternal, some Doom 2016, man. Some Madden. Madden on Stadia, by the way. Let me highlight. Can I highlight it real quick?
Yes, sir. Please do.
Madden on Google Stadia. I jump on. Remember last time I think I said there was like 18,000 players that jumped in the rank. Well, now that number is close to like 12,000. So it seems like people are still finding their way over there. And I know that pales in comparison to like an Xbox or whatever and all that PlayStation. Yeah. But at the same time, that number is still over 10K and growing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think we've always said that as people find out that they could play Madden on their phone. See, when you hear it, you listen to it, you think about it for that day, right? Then you forget about it, right? But then the next day might come and you might say, damn, you know what? I like Madden. Wait a minute. Storm just played Madden on Stadia?
Yep.
So let me go sign up now and try Madden on Stadia to see if I can play it on my phone or whatever, right? So that's why I make a lot of the videos I do. And Madden is one of those recent videos that I've made. MM2K, I jumped on Ease 8. Ease 8.
Yep.
Fantastic game, and I loved it. Now 4K 60. 4K 60. Now that right there, it might be native 4K 60, y'all. Runs like a dream, plays phenomenally. I just can't even get enough of it. Look, my problem with these games, y'all, is that there's so many great games on the platform on Stadia now to play. All right, there's over 800 on GeForce now. You know what I mean? There's over 800 on PSN. There's a lot of games on Luna that's coming to Luna every other week or whatever the case is, every week. The libraries are building up, but there's something about the games on the Stadia and the Stadia library. And shout out to Adrian So, who wrote that article. We talked about it last week on SSC, y'all. Yep. Shout out to Adrian So and Tabitha Baker, I think her name was. Two different, two different writers, journalists, or whatever you want to call them, right? Did some hellified pieces, right? One was opinion based, meaning Adrian So's work was opinion based. We touched on that. Tabitha's was more like a recap of the what was it called? Because Clyde reminded me that was kind of like
it was like a I forgot the term that he used, but it was spot on.
Anyway, but it was taken directly from announcements that Stadia had made themselves at one point, right?
Yep.
But either way, it was a good read, man, and we had a hellified discussion on that, y'all. Like that a discussion where you probably would have thought that we were ready to just like implode. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes it comes down to that, and we'll get into that later in the show, y'all. Sometimes it comes down to pushing a little bit.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Pulling a little bit, listening, adding in some discourse every now and then, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, and at the same time, remembering that I respect your craft, I respect your work.
And vice versa.
Man, I just wanted to throw that out there. So I saw something that I noticed in the article, but I tell you what, after going back and reading it again, it was, I realized it was opinion based. Yes, it was. Things might have been able to been a little bit more clear for me as a reader. Cool. That's cool. But at the same time, I respected the work that Adrian did, as well as Tabitha, right? And I shouted that out at the end. And I also saw the tweet that Adrian sent out in response to the efforts that we put out there. All of us who retweeted and responded, man. And that's what it's all about to me. That's somebody who was trying to find a community who didn't realize the community existed, right? And now, because of MM2K and others, Clive and so many other people, if you responded, you know what I'm talking about. If you put a like on that, you know what I'm talking about, right? That right there is a community, a collaborative, community-based effort. And it's happened so many times, man. And I'm on record and you're on record, MM2K, and so many in this chat are on record trying to target that and highlight it and build a community, man. And I know I was talking about these games, but I had to segue into that community because it's going to be the theme of the day. It's going to be the focus of the day, y'all. But I've been playing too many damn games, I think. Too many games,
you bro. Said too many.
Watch Dogs Legion online. I played online with some players on Watch Dogs Legion.
Okay.
On Stadia, man. I mean, it's just a good week. It's a good week for your boy, man. I'm gonna leave it right there.
Okay. Shout out to everybody that's here. I want to give a special. I'm gonna do something new. When y'all Rome, definitely. R.I.P. DMX too, man. Wow.
Man, R.I.P. for sure.
Yeah, come on, man. Shout out to Rome for that one, man. Definitely. But I want to do something new, Storm. You know how we love to shout out the chat and stuff too. But I want to definitely shout out to people that help push the platform to notify people that's part of. I want to say y'all part of the Stadia Dosage family, definitely. You know what I mean? And I love you guys, you ladies and gentlemen. Shout out to Tech Loving Mama. She was tweeting it out. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to John Scar for tweeting it out. Thank y'all so much, man. I appreciate it.
Shout out.
I love all of y'all, man. Hit that share button. Tweet this out. Let everybody know that we're live. We appreciate it. Thank you so much because we're going to have some real discussions. I mean, and I see, shout out to Stadia Rev. Rev is out there talking about Stadia 100 and a whole bunch of other stuff, man. It's fantastic. But like I said, I want to just be very clear to everybody before we get started, Storm, that first and foremost, even though we're going to explain what Stadia 100 is and the fact that it's two different things. I
think it's more than two different things, but I'll give my take on it. I think it's I think it means a whole lot more than two different things.
There's the awareness part, which everybody hopefully will want to participate in the awareness. Hopefully everybody will want to bring awareness because that's what this is about. This ain't about me, Storm, the committee. This is about you all, rather. You that are the consumer or the viewer. We want to make sure that we highlight things to make it easier for you. This is not to make my channel better or anything. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we always want to, as a content creator, Storm, people have personal aspirations, but every now and again, I think what makes a great YouTuber or a great content creator is when they start thinking beyond themselves. I mean, this is one of those initiatives where we're thinking beyond ourselves. So there's that part of it where we want to create a tool set, a system that makes getting access to content that people want, specific content that people want, easier. The second part of it is the committee part, where there's a bunch of us that got together, formulated this idea, and we're rolling out this initiative, and we're going to actually be, extending the olive branch to the rest of the community as well to help out. Because as this thing grows, we're going to need help. You know what I'm saying? And we're hopeful that people will want to help. But that being said,
you just said something that's key right there, right? You just said something. You touched on two things, right? You're talking about the growth of this the campaign in the near future and beyond, right? And then
Yep.
you're talking about those who want to help. So,
Yep.
there's a long process in putting this whole thing together. I might add,
Absolutely.
right? That
Absolutely.
you just can't foresee how everything is going to go. And if everybody who started something up, y'all, everything is time based. I've heard
Exactly.
so many people talking about, hey, y'all, in due time,
In due
it's going
time.
to take a while, in due time, right? But we wanted to bring this because of the urgency. I think it's so important to put it like this, right? The urgency of Stadia, like Stadia being dead already, Stadia constantly dying every week, every month, right? I think it's so important that we put together something like this as quickly as possible, but as thought out as possible, and with the open invite to everyone who's willing and down for the cause. I
Absolutely.
mean, we had to just be honest and transparent. That's what it really came down to. It's about, are you really down for the cause? Because we can't throw people into something not knowing if they're really there, not knowing if they're going to be there. And you know what I'm saying? Because we believe in the platform,
Yep.
the chat.
Absolutely.
We believe in the
Absolutely.
platform. I mean, I have from day one. I play on different platforms. I do want to add that right now, but I still believe in Stadia, man. I talk so much, so much about it. I had my content on my channel shows that I love Stadia. Yeah, hey, I'm thankful for the opportunity. That's all I wanted to throw. I
Yep.
wanted to throw that in, man. I'm sorry I interrupted you, and it's gonna happen again. So bear with me.
There's a lot of
It's gonna happen
energy in this
again.
show. There's a lot of energy in this show, and definitely we're gonna have some great, like I said, we're gonna have some great discussions. There's no need to fold your arms and retreat to your corner and talk to yourself. I had a great discussion with a brother today on Twitter. I kind of felt like we're gonna get into it. I kind of felt like he was doing that. He was, I'm not gonna name the name, but he was riled up about something, but yet he's retweeting and he's going to himself talking about it, and I'm like, my brother, okay, what's going on here? Somebody getting to my old Milwaukee? Like, what's going on, brother? Talk to me.
Man,
And
hold
then,
on, man.
well, hold on, let me finish
Speak
this
of the
thought real
old?
quick. Let me finish this thought real quick.
Finish it up, man.
But and when I talked to him, I understood what he was getting to. Even though I didn't necessarily agree with his entire assessment, I got what he was getting to. We're gonna talk about it later in the show. But go ahead, Storm. My bad.
Actually, I interrupted you, man. You talked about the old Milwaukee, bro. For all of you who are new, we don't have a sponsor. We're not sponsored by Old Milwaukee, but I tell you what, it is something that we would love to have.
Yeah.
That would be cool, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And we don't even drink no damn old Milwaukee, y'all. Right now, it's just something that we came up with for all of you. So if we had fun talking about Old Milwaukee and that's your favorite drink, we're not poking fun at it. It's just something that we've been doing for a while. Now, MM, I do want to know more about this because I got a couple messages. I got some DMs. I got a couple phone calls and everything, man, regarding this whole campaign, man.
Woo,
so there's so much to cover in this hour and a half to 2 hour block that we have for y'all. But MM, I'm going to try to be as honest as I can. And as I told you, positivity, this whole thing was based around positivity.
Yep.
Right? That's one thing. Because I've been talking about it so many times about the messaging, man. How does it look if we as the community and we as those who make content, whether that be streaming or, videos and stuff, VOD, whatever the format is, right? If we're out here and we're saying we're creating like panicking and we're sending out a message like that might to a new person like a Project Kill who came into the community at one point and was like, yo, man, are people behind this thing? You know what I'm saying? I mean, am I going to when I spend my money on this thing, I'm hearing that it's about, it's about to die. It's not going to be here when I spend my money on it. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, Kill, man, I assure you, bro, I'm in the community. Not as somebody that's trying to take over the community. I'm here. I didn't even ask to really be a part of it. It kind of just happened. You know what I'm saying? From being in the chat, supporting you guys real heavily, right? Being that individual who was just happy to be in the chat with you. Happy to be in the chat with Chase, 6'4", Eddie, Duncan, Wingy, everybody. Y'all know the story. It goes way back to the beginning. Sonny, Ace, so many people, man. Like this is what it's all about for me. So I get passionate about it because I know how it feels to be, that person that looks up to the community, who really believes in the beauty of the community and all that stuff, man. We talked about it so many times. I don't know if everybody was listening. I don't know if anybody thought we were serious about it, MM2K. But now that we're doing something big, bro, I don't know. I just don't know, man. We're doing something major, y'all. Something major for all of the people who really, truly believe in this platform and love the platform and love the games and love the efforts that Google's making and love what Grace and Chris and everybody on the community manager side is doing, man. We're really here. So if that sounds like you, people, like if it sounds like you, all we got to do is just get in touch, reach out to each other, and have a conversation, y'all. That's all.
I want to say first. I want to say this, that overall the Stadia. Okay, well, before I get into that, let me say this. Be very clear about this. That even though there is a committee that is working on the Stadia 100, and we all in unison have a process where before things get finalized, there's a process things got to go to, and we work in unison on that. That when we are outside of the committee, we all have our own separate opinions. There's no hive mind, there's no robots, none of that stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Right. So I want to say that anything that I'm speaking of outside of Stadia 100 is not the direct express consent, you know what I'm saying, of the Stadia 100
exactly
committee.
What you're saying.
Y'all follow me. You know what I'm saying? Project Storm is going to say what he say. I'm going to say what I'm saying. And I don't mean that that's representative of Clive, Jack, my homie 4 Scars in the chat dropping some killer information. We're going to get to it, John. We're going to get John trying to take my spot on my own channel. He got better information than MM2K. We're going to get to it about that Outriders, man. It's crazy. But here's the thing, y'all. The Stadia 100 campaign overall, everything that Storm said is 1,000% right. I want to add to that, though, that the reception to the Stadia 100 campaign has been overwhelmingly positive. And we are so humbled, man. We were like, just me and Storm and all of us were talking like, damn, I didn't realize, like, because we've had people come to us behind the scenes. Like Storm said, like, hold on. Now, bro, you done got me attached to this Stadia thing. And yeah, you do some Stadia content, but when your Stadia content is done, I don't know who else to go to. Where am I to go? And the only people that I may come across might say something to the effects of, and again, this is just from what I'm hearing, it's not going to be here, or it's not looking so good. And I don't feel that way. I'm enthusiastic. Right. So who else is enthusiastic about this that you can point me to? That's all this is about. So,
and, can you imagine the amount of interviewing before we kick this thing off, y'all? Can you imagine the amount of interviewing and then just waiting to see if minds are going to change and stuff like that? I mean, we'll be waiting for possibly months, y'all, for months.
Yep. And we heard those calls. We heard that concern, and we said, we get it. We're going to present an opportunity for you to get people like Kill. Like, for instance, my shout out to my brother Doc Dark. He says, now, and again, I'm not saying this, Doc Dark 1985. Y'all know him, the infamous. He's ghetto famous on Stadia Reddit. This is an X-bot. This is a damn X-bot. I'm Ghetto Fabulous on Stadia. I can't stand it. No, my brother Doc Dark. Shout out, love you, brother, man. You out here killing the damn game, man. But Doc Dark, who knew nothing about the apex of that cloud gaming was getting to at all, knew nothing about the power of Stadia, got introduced to Stadia, and then that prompted him to go and do more research on GFN, and then go do more research. You see what I'm saying? So this is just getting people connected to things that they're interested in. You know what I mean? It's not to replace anything. Doc says, I owe so much to MM2K. I'm humbled by that, brother, but it's bigger than me. I owe so much to MM2K for exposing me to Stadia. The old man in me has left, the old gamer mentality go, and Stadia is definitely helping me to do that. That's what it's about. It's not about us as content creators trying to figure out who's right and who's wrong. While we're having this battle, the people on the other end of this mic are losing out. They're like, okay, I get it. Y'all can fight and figure it out. I just want Stadia content. I want to learn more about this. I enjoy this. Where can I get Stadia? Like Storm, I love all types of movies. I watch from the biggest tear jerkers with my wife on the Lifetime Network, to cartoons and stuff with the kids, to when I'm by myself, though, and I'm really relaxing, chilling with some proper 12, I want to see a badass karate flick, right, Storm?
Yeah.
So I know the best source to get answers or connect me to the badass karate flicks are Kung Fu Cinema, Well Go USA, you know what I'm saying, and other places. That's all this is. It doesn't mean that because Kung Fu Cinema exists that that Grammys.com or Oscars.com should go away. No. Sometimes people have specific wants and needs, and we're just answering that need. It's not to say that this is the only important thing, that only Kung Fu movies are important. No. It's like if I wake up, Storm, and I want, if I'm a big PlayStation guy and I want to, and I'm like, look, where's Kinda Funny at? Where can I find other shows like Kinda Funny? There might be, PlayStation PodcastSource.com. I love Podcast Unlocked, or I love RDX. Where can I find more podcasts like that? Xbox PodcastSource.com. That's all this is. That's all this is. So, but with that said, I want to thank you all for the discussion. It's good. I'm not trying to squelch the discussion. I love the questions. I love the concerns. And I definitely love the enthusiasm for this. So we're going to keep talking about this. But Storm, what are your thoughts on all this?
Yeah, I think I like how you covered everything, man. It's just like an effort. I mean, people have gotten together and they've produced efforts and stuff before, that some very, very, very successful, right? And others that needed a little bit of tweaking and refinement and all that stuff, man. Like,
Yep.
People have kicked those things off in MM2K. I'll tell you right now, Project Storm, you know me, I'm keeping it real all the time as much as possible, y'all. I supported those efforts. I loved them. I was in the chat. I was retweeting. I was like, yo, this is what it's all about right here.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't matter who started it, MM. It didn't matter when Sonny got together and did the very first, him and Generation Stadia at the time, who's now Virtual Cloud, y'all, got together and did the 40-car grid race. All of this stuff keeps coming back to me, man. This is real deal experiences right here. I don't just talk, out the side of my neck, y'all. I'm talking about experiences that I know happened. Sounds of Stadia with the PUBG tournament. And so many more, man. SBCN, y'all. That's the Stadia Bash Community Network. Duncan and all of his efforts, and Adam and everybody else, man, who's put together these big time events, like Stadia Super Saturday and so many more, y'all. You know what? Not once didn't meet that. Not once. You can't find me on record, MM. I open up the DM. You know what I'm saying? Open it up. So you can't find me on record saying, yo, what is this, man? Like, come on. I wasn't invited, man. I took it on the chin, had a conversation with Stadia Rev. We both talked about it. We didn't mind. And so the next year came, I got the invitation. I wasn't mad. I was happy. I was a part of it. I was in there. I got on the panel with you, 6'4", and all of us. Remember that?
Yep.
So this is what I'm saying, man. There's so many things that has happened. So many announcements, so many teams being formed and all of this stuff, right? And not once did I sit here and say, why didn't you include me?
Yeah.
Come on, man. What is this about? This is creating more division in the community. None of that stuff, man. It just never happened.
Yeah.
But I get it, though. I get it. I know. Again,
I think that's a perfect example, Storm.
The focus is going to be positivity, MM2K, man. But I have to call out the facts, man.
No. We definitely got, yeah. I love that. I just wanted to double, triple, quadruple highlight that example. Again, the overwhelming consent is, we love this, man. This is what we've been asking for. Thank you. You know what I'm saying? And I got to give a shout out to the committee. You know what I'm saying? And the house, like John Scar says. John Scar, Clavy Linden, and your mama, and now your mama knows. My homie Project Storm, Jack Deslett. You know what I'm saying? And myself. We're all working, and we're going to be expanding again. And like I said, we're going to have more news on how you can be part of the planning process and all of this stuff. We're going to be reaching out. We're going to be doing additional things that is going to be beneficial additionally beneficial to content creators as well as the viewers. But right now we want to make this the focus of the viewers. We want to help identify where the Stadia committed content is, whether that's a periodic show or stream, a channel or a podcast. You know what I'm saying? We just want to let people know where that is. But I wanted to triple underline something that you said, Storm. For those of you, again, it's a process, and we're going to definitely include those of you that have great ideas. We're going to do that. But things have to happen in decency and order. It's a marathon, not a sprint. It's like what Storm said. Storm's been broadcasting a whole bunch of gameplay since the beginning of time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
he was on everybody's podcast and everything and showing support and love. But that first Stadia Super Saturday, he wasn't there. It wasn't an opportunity for Storm to say, I wasn't there for Stadia Super Saturday. What the hell's going on? What's wrong with you guys? It was an opportunity to say, you know what? That's something I want to be involved with. I like this, and I'm going to do what I need to do to get there, right?
Right.
And that's what Storm did. And I want to give a kudos to equivalent to what Storm did, which is I feel is the right way, the homie Stadia Dad. Now, he's not the only one. I just want to highlight him. Because Stadia Dad, as soon as he heard about this, he said, hold on. I got Stadia content too. I'm pumping it out all the time. I want to be part of this. My bro ran to Twitter. I'm down with Stadia 100. Put it on all over his content to help spread awareness to the viewer and said, yo, MM2K, how can I be down? Like Ice-T and Original Gangster. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That's what we're looking for. We're looking for people that get so enthused at something that's so positive for the viewers that that's their initial reaction. So what I'm saying to all of you guys that have great ideas, that we know is making great Stadia content, and we're definitely going to be reaching out to you. We want to see that enthusiasm too. Start tagging that Stadia 100, because it's not about me, Storm, Clive, Jack, or John, or Anthony. It's not about us. We're doing this for the viewer.
Right.
And the people that we see that want to do this for the viewer too, come one, come all. And those are my thoughts on it. Any other thoughts before we get to some more of these questions, Storm?
Yeah, I just want to add this too, y'all. It's not like, you know how people always, they hit us with the, you guys are paid by Google and stuff like that, man. This right here is out of effort and love for what we do, love for the community, love for you all as the gamers.
Absolutely.
Love for the fact that Stadia is in a position right now that can bring more awareness to the cloud. And of course, other platforms as well, services as well, y'all. Of course, right? But that's what this is mainly about. I just wanted to throw that out there because this is our effort and time that we're putting into this thing. And so many of you already know what that feels like as content creators or whatever, you know? So I just wanted to close it out with that, but we can move on.
Shout out to Stadia Pro Gaming with the $5. Thank you so much. See, this is why we're doing this. When y'all do stuff like this, we are seriously gracious. And because you do stuff like this, comments that you saw earlier from Dark 1985 are possible. When you guys do things like what Stadia Pro Gaming is doing right here, showing us love, you don't owe us nothing. We owe you. That's the way we look at it. You don't owe us nothing. We owe you. You come first to us. You know what I'm saying?
And I want to add that you have seen us, y'all. You've seen our efforts and what we do when we do get a super chat like that right there, right? Well, you've seen us give back to the community. We didn't have to. We didn't have to do it. You know what I'm saying? I know some that don't. I know some that are just not fortunate enough at the same time, but we don't have to, you know, but we always do. We're always thinking of a way to get the community, the gamers, the new, the ones who are inquiring about the platform, how to get them more involved in it, because we know how great it is, y'all. We know how great it is. And y'all know what I'm talking about, because for you who have been here, putting your hours, blood, sweat, and tears and everything, or blood, sweat, and pixels. I have to say it because MM talks about it all the time. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to blood, sweat, and pixels. Y'all need to check that out. I need to check it out. But anyway, you know what I'm talking about. You're putting your effort out there, y'all. That's what it's mainly about, though. You've seen what we do, what our efforts are. And I think our actions show what we're all about.
Shout out to Stadia Pro Gaming. He says, you both are keeping it real. Stadia community has way less toxicity than the big platforms, period. Love the community, Stadia 100. Yeah, I mean, I just got to put it out there. My personal feeling is, and sometimes I got to be honest with y'all, I get a little disappointed. And again, this is separate from the Stadia 100 talk. This ain't got nothing to do with my brothers that are on the committee, on the committee.
You heard it
the human committee. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? This ain't got nothing to do with my brothers on their thoughts, or my sisters out there in the community as well. But these are my personal thoughts. I get a little disappointed when I see that. I'm not going to front. I get a little disappointed from when I see that. You're only aware of what you're aware of, right? And I get that. So if you're not used to the big stage, trust me that you're going to go through a serious culture shock if you think there's toxicity here, right? But you're only aware of what you're aware of, and I get that. There's like Doc says, there's levels to this. You know what I'm saying? I wish I need him to record that for me. I'll pay him for
levels to this.
There's levels to this. You know what I'm saying? You only know what you know. But I think in some instances, we like to throw that word toxic out when we're being challenged. I mean, and we're throwing the word toxic out, let's be honest, over basically the same 5 people that go out and maybe do some things that I wouldn't do in relation to the Stadia community. But last time I checked, Storm, there were tens of thousands of community members that are on Stadia. Shout out to the brother Sunny Cloud Games, which again, Stadia 100 would apply to him. Shout out to him. He got tens of thousands, coming up on 20,000 subscribers, I believe. I think if my numbers are right, I know he's at least over 10,000. Shout out to him. Like, is it fair to his supporters to call the community in totality toxic? Because it's basically the same 5 people that is riling many of you up. I don't think that's fair to them, and that's not right, and that's demagoguing. And first and foremost, regardless if you know what you don't know, or don't know what you don't know, y'all ain't seen toxic. Y'all haven't seen it yet. Are there better ways that differences of opinions can be handled? Yeah. Like I said, it's the same 5 people. But to sit there and say a Stadia pro gaming, a Stadia dad, you know what I'm saying? And other great community members out there, whether they're content creators or not, are toxic because 5 rogue people decided to say this or that. I don't think that's balanced. And what I'm seeing personally, and this is my own personal opinion, is that people don't like being challenged. Back in the day, they weren't challenged. Listen to me, hear me out, y'all. Hear me out, Storm. Stop me if I'm going too far.
Man, go ahead.
Back in the day when this all started, there was this mantra that, ooh, you don't challenge these people. Right? That's what everybody followed, like the Manchurian viewers. See, we're going to keep it real here. Let me quit all the theatrics and all the yelling. Let me just keep it real. Be real monotone with y'all.
And let me say this first. There's a difference between facts and negativity, by the way.
Exactly. Thank you. It was about, look, I'm this entity. These are my pals. They're that entity. We don't like being challenged. You've seen it. You know you've seen it. People challenge certain people either on social media or, via a podcast or something like that. And they flip their lid. They can't take it. They're about to combust. Remember that Dave Chappelle skit with the black white supremacist and when he took off the helmet, the guy's head exploded? You got people out there that's like that when you challenge them. And they've gone from an era where they weren't challenged at all because because the community was smaller than what it is, a lot smaller. And people were so, worried about being ostracized from the community that they followed it. But as this community starts to become a normal community with normal differences and different complex crevices like any other community, and people come from other communities into here and they're like, hold on. I'm not no Manchurian candidate lover. I'm not no conveyor belt type person. I got my own mind and my own opinions, and I'm going to view them. And if I feel like, I don't care who you are, if I feel like that the information that you are presenting isn't solid, I'm going to challenge it. And people simply aren't used to that now. But I warned about this. I told you I wasn't going to do the theatrics, but I got to. I warned about this last year. I think sometime in April or May. I did a podcast and I warned you guys that as the community grows, as y'all throwing around this word toxic, you're going to start to see people challenging people more, and y'all ain't going to know what to do. So with that said, this is just a call from me personally. This is nobody else's words. Please be very careful on the labeling and the demagoguery. There are so many great and lovely people in this community, and I love you all. Ones that agree with me, ones that don't agree with me. There are those of you that totally got this Stadia 100 thing wrong, but I'm not going to demagogue you. I'm not going to put a label on you. You just didn't understand. And I'm going to help you understand the best way that I can. That's how a community operates when you have discussions. With that said, I got to keep, we're getting so much support. I'm loving this. I got to highlight it real quick, Storm. I'm going to turn it back over to you. G Million with the $2. He says, love the show. Keep effing those. Effing those. G Million is a sick
That's my
puppy.
dog.
That's my dog. That's my dog. G Million is a sick puppy. Shout out to the Stadia. Oh, go ahead, bro.
No. Shout out, man. Do that shout out. That's very necessary, man.
Shout out to Stadia Rev in the house, my brother. He says hashtag Stadia 100 all day, all night. We in here. Thank you, my good brother. Yes. Let's spread the awareness. That's what it's about. It's about the community. My homie, the spiritual advisor. He's here to keep me sane. He's probably did. He said, MM2K, you done said too much. Shut the hell up. Clive Linden is now a part of the Stadia Dosage member community. Thank you so much, Clive. We love you for that. And last but certainly not least, my homie Project Storm. He says I had to match Rev. See, you can't. You see, it's a friendly competition between my brothers Rev and Storm. I had to match Rev. This is for the community efforts that we will bring to light soon. Absolutely, because there's more to come. There's Stadia 100. But we got some things going over here on this side as well. So stay tuned. But go ahead, Storm. Let me shut up. Go ahead, brother.
Nah, man, you're absolutely right, man. Hopefully everybody's enjoying the show. Hey, for the people that's been around, y'all know, you hit that like button. It's not going to really hurt anything. I promise. Watch. Hit that like button. It won't even hurt your finger. Guaranteed, y'all. If you're enjoying the content for real, go ahead. Show that support. Not everybody is going to be able to do the super chat thing. We're not asking everybody to, right? That's not what we can encourage. What we encourage and ask people to do is to think, right? To think about what's being said today. Think about your experience on the platform and how that's gone so far, right? If it's super positive, cool. But if it's been like, wow, man, I'm scratching my head scratching, right? They're not cool. So we want to try to eradicate the not cool experiences, because who wants to gain and have those negative experiences, y'all? Not us. That's why we put so much time, effort, and passion, and emotions into this stuff, man. Like that, everything that you're hearing is going to be natural. Now, for anybody who's new to the show, hit that subscribe button right here, Stadia Doses News. You know what I'm saying? Hit that subscribe button, Project Storm, my channel, where I bring that 4K content. And we'll get into that, MM2K, when you're ready, man. But I bring that 4K content, sometimes 4K 60, sometimes up to 4K, sometimes upscale from 1080p to 4K, whatever the case is. I'm bringing that for you all, and Stadia is at the focus, is at the helm of that whole movement right there, y'all, with my content. And I have an RTX 3080. I just want to put it out there for anybody that's new. I have an Xbox Series X. I recently gamed on Luna, GeForce Now. Shadow, I've had Shadow for a year before I canceled my subscription because of some reasons that just didn't fit my use case anymore, right?
Yep.
And PS Now, as well as xCloud, I've tried, right? So I'm in here when it comes to this content, y'all. I'm in here having 4-hour streams, mixing Stadia in, putting Stadia up against the 3080 and the Series X. I just want to go ahead and unshamefully, right? So that's my word I'm throwing out there. What's the word, man? Unapologetically, right? Put my own content out there right now, y'all, because I'm giving you a taste of what it is. Like, and if you make content on other platforms, MM2K. Can you be a part of the 100, man, the Stadia 100?
I'm sorry. So I was sitting there.
If you make content on other platforms, does the door slam in your face when it comes to Stadia 100?
No. Look, great question, and that's one of the questions, and that takes us right to the wrap up or one of the questions to wrap up the question section, because we're getting a lot of questions. Absolutely not. Like, for instance, our good brother Clive, who is on the committee, his channel isn't 100% Stadia. He did an Xbox unboxing and some other things on there as well, hosting you to good products and things like that. But he has a dedicated Stadia show, which is called the Monday Night Stadia Chat. So that Monday Night Stadia Chat is Stadia 100 content. It is a show, a periodic show that people can rely on. They know it comes on every Monday. Hey, on Mondays, if I'm looking for something Stadia, I done read all the Stadia source articles. Sonny did a hell of a stream. You know what I'm saying? Saw this and saw that. Man, I wonder what else to close out the night. I'm still feeding for some more Stadia. You can wrap up your night. For my people in the UK, if you're on the same time zone, you can wrap up your night with some Monday Night Stadia Chat. That's all this is about. You know what I'm saying? So, yes, Storm, to answer your question, it's not. Look, Stadia Vet. Shout out to my brother Stadia Vet. I promised him I'd give him a shout out because that's my brother from another mother. I had a hell of a conversation with him and some other people, man. I loved it, man. Stadia Vet, you a true one, brother. You a true one. Stadia Vet. On his logo, he got every damn thing. Even though his name is Stadia Vet, he got PSN, Xbox. I think he got a picture of Phil Spencer in the park. He might have an Atari 2600 logo. He got everything on his picture. But he understands that there's a community that wants Stadia-specific content. Like how he may want Stadia-specific content. Like how I may wake up and want a badass karate, just nothing but badass karate flicks. How somebody else might wake up and may want nothing but Xbox stuff, so they go watch RDX or We Bleed Green. How somebody else might want PlayStation.
Or Dark 1985.
Want some Dark 1985 and go check out my good brother's channel. Somebody else might want nothing but some Among Us. Well, not nothing, but they want somebody that focuses on Among Us streams, so they go pull up my brother Proper's place in the house as well. That's it. My question to y'all is, and again, it's not a question to shame y'all, it's just a response to your questions. If it's okay with other platforms for there to be specific designated products and services, why not the same for Stadia? And could you be thinking that way specifically for Stadia because other entities are trying to convince you that anything related to Stadia is supposed to be attached to something else all the time? Think about that.
It's deep. It's deep. Before we move on, I want to shout out Stadia Vet myself and say my avatar and my YouTube banner and all that stuff. Let me explain, y'all, because we have some similarities right there. So if you look at my avatar, you go to my channel when you get a chance. Check out the YouTube banner, for example, right? The Twitter banner, Project Storm, right? Simple. But what you don't see is that avatar, that banner and everything. Shout out to Graphics God, man. GG.
Shout out to GG in the house
for a great job on that one. A lot of people seem to like it, right? But I have some Xbox green up in there, some GeForce Now green up in there, right? Some PlayStation blue up in there, some Nintendo red might be up in there. You know what I mean? Some we got all the colors right there, right? And then it's infused with Stadia, y'all. The electric air is also in there. It's supercharging the whole thing. So that's just something to think about. I wanted to put it out there because I'm glad you touched on that, man, because not a lot of people, they might not know that. I never really explained it. I think I explained it one time the other day, but let's move on.
And you know what, Storm? A lot of people, I assume a lot of stuff too, and I got to get better at that. I assume, they should know that. But some people, again, they got other voices in their ears. They may be distracted from this and they focus on it, whatever the case may be, and they may not see what I see. You know what I'm saying? And same with me. I mean, I had a great discussion earlier today that helped me realize that, hey, maybe this is the conversation that we as a community may have. I don't agree with the person's take on it, but I think they touched on something that needs to be discussed. So we're going to, wrap this up real quick and get into it. So to sum up the three questions that we've gotten, the overwhelming majority of responses that we've gotten has been purely positive. But just to wrap it up real quick, and I'm going to get to my brother Sean L. super chat as well. The three questions that we mainly get is this replacing Team Stadia? No. Stadia 100 hashtag is not in competition with anything else. It is a tool for content viewers and consumers that want to know where are the multiple sources that I can get Stadia based content from. And there's nothing wrong with people wanting that. Again, like when I wake up and I want a badass martial arts flick, that doesn't mean that the dramas suck. It doesn't mean that other things suck, but I want, or for most, this will probably better relate to the community. For those of you that want anime, you want to know, y'all go to wherever hubs give you the best anime information. Does that make all other cartoons irrelevant? All other shows irrelevant? No, but you're in the mood. We get in a mood for stuff all the time. You're in the mood for anime, and it's not hard to fathom that the community might only be in the mood for Stadia stuff, just like people are in the mood for Xbox, PlayStation. So those in the community that may not understand that, that's fine. Just understand that there are people that think differently from you, who have been chiming in with us that want Stadia content because they're in the mood for Stadia content. So no, this is not replacing anything. This is just to help highlight Stadia specific content, where Team Stadia, if someone's bringing up a Stadia subject, hey, this debate is going on or anything, and people may not want to engage in a Twitter thread, they just want to know where Stadia content is. So this is more specific than Team Stadia, but it's not replacing anything, if that makes sense. Secondly, who can use the Stadia 100 tag? Anybody that has Stadia specific content, Stadia exclusive content, a Stadia exclusive show, a Stadia exclusive stream, a Stadia exclusive channel. We've given you examples of all that. Last but not least, how can I be a part of the planning team? Like Storm eloquently put, we're in the early phases of this. We're still trying to roll things out, but we wanted to get this out now, and we'll be reaching out to you in the community very soon. We haven't forgot about you, but things have to happen in decency and order. One last thing that I want to do, Storm, and before I turn it back over to you, is someone who's explained this way better than I. If I can find there we go. Someone who's explained this way better than I is my spiritual advisor, Clive E. Linden. Let me see. There he goes. He's on the screen. So I'm going to play this message from Clive real quick so you guys understand what Stadia 100 is about, opposed to maybe some of the inclinations that you may have, and innocently, but it may not be spot on. So let me do this. Boop. I think that's it. And let's try this. And let me know, y'all, if y'all can hear this. Hold on. Oh, no. That was the wrong one. It's this one. I'm sorry. Now let's try it. Let me go back. Oh, y'all can't hear that either. Hold on. What the hell? Oh, because I have it muted. Duh. Let's try that again.
I game on Xbox.
Okay.
Do you like Stadia?
Can you hear that, Storm?
Not everybody does.
I hear it.
But that's all right. I game on Xbox and I game on Stadia. Mostly I game on Stadia. In fact, I'm really excited by the tech behind Stadia and the business model and what cloud gaming, but particularly Stadia, will bring in the future. That's why I have a show that's dedicated to Stadia, because I love talking about it. I love sharing content about it. And I know loads of people love watching Stadia-specific content. So, to help people find Stadia-specific content, we're starting using hashtag Stadia100. Yeah? 100% Stadia. A bit like a quality mark. If you do Stadia-specific content, have a Stadia-specific channel, have a Stadia-specific network, whatever it is, hashtag Stadia100 to help people find Stadia-related content. Simples.
That was a hell of a video, Storm. Should I play it one more time? What do you think?
Man, I just put my thoughts in the chat. You know what I mean? I mean, bruh. I mean, you can't really see. That's just a glimpse of what we're bringing as far as quality, y'all. Like, you know, Clive is the truth, man. He knows it. We know it. I think that play it one more time. Play it one more time, man.
All right, I'm going to play it one more time. Here we go, people.
Do you like Stadia? I do. Not everybody does, but that's all right. I game on Xbox and I game on Stadia. Mostly I game on Stadia. In fact, I'm really excited by the tech behind Stadia and the business model and what cloud gaming, but particularly Stadia, will bring in the future. That's why I have a show that's dedicated to Stadia, because I love talking about it. I love sharing content about it. And I know loads of people love watching Stadia-specific content. So, to help people find Stadia-specific content, we're starting using hashtag Stadia100. Yeah? 100% Stadia. A bit like a quality mark. If you do Stadia-specific content, have a Stadia-specific channel, have a Stadia-specific network, whatever it is, hashtag Stadia100 to help people find Stadia-related content. Simples.
That gives me chills listening to that. That's why we brought Clive on as one of the original. Again, no slight to anybody else, but there's a reason why I call this guy my spiritual advisor. He's really well grounded, and he really knows how to put things out there and simplify things for the masses. And now y'all can see, because again, I think there's something happening in the community, and it's going to shake itself out, and it's going to make sense to everybody at some point in time as far as who does what in relation to the Stadia community. But I think a lot of that may have seeped over to this message, this positive message. It may have confused some people because that's going on simultaneously. And having someone like Clive here while we're rolling this out was instrumental, because again, he's explained this way better than I have. So shout out to you, Clive. Thank you so much for your contributions, good brother. And another good brother I want to shout out for their contributions real quick is the good brother Sean L. with the $10. Thank you so much. We love you, man. He says, let's triple that with the $10 contribution. So hopefully that all makes sense to everybody. If it doesn't, if you have questions or concerns, man, we're open to them. Content creators, viewers, I have an open DM. Some of you may not be able to, something janky with Twitter, but if you're trying to DM me, just let me know. We can talk. We can talk on Discord. I done had so many conversations. People can vouch for that. Any time of the day, I don't care. We can talk on Discord. We can talk on Twitter. Just let me know. But don't assume, and don't, bunch up you fold up your arms and go into your corner. Let's have a discussion. Let's talk. Let's talk this through. All right. With that said, anything else, Storm, before we go on to the next subject matter?
Yeah, I just want to throw it out there. If you have one subscriber, Stadia 100 is for you. You know what I'm saying? The hashtag can definitely be used. Yep. If you on your way to almost 18K, like Sunny Cloud Gaming, y'all.
Shout out to
you too. It's all about what you want to do. Like Clive just broke it down. We've been trying our best to break it down for y'all. You know what I mean? John Scar and others are going to be doing some stuff in the near future that's just probably going to blow your minds. So it just feels good, man. It feels good to be a part of something that, that's for everybody,
Absolutely. Now I was just messing with Aminor in the chat. His crazy behind self says, can I use the 100 tag? Yeah, whatever. I said it's for everyone except Aminor. Now, shout out to my brother Aminor. Good to see you, man. Good to see you. I've been seeing you more and more sporadically. I don't know what's going on, man. With that said, Storm, we were going to talk about indies next, but I think while we got the energy in us, let's switch it up a little bit. Let's talk about this performance thing.
Let's go.
Let's do this. So this is a segment that we might do regularly, where we talk about, performance in gaming and things of that nature. And one of the things, so there's we want to talk about streamers using 4K 60 or using certain litmuses in the titles of their content. We're going to talk about Outriders. We're going to talk about the update that we got about FIFA. We're going to talk about some things just about the CCU and the HDCP that's part of the CCU. We can only go but so far with this conversation, but we're going to have it. I think it's worth having. With that said, Storm.
What's going on?
Let me lay it out for you, brother, and I want you to talk about this. So I spoke about this earlier. Because what I'm starting to see in the community now is people are inclined to feel a certain way and then go back to their hubs and this, that, and belittle or be, or besmirch each other instead of just having a conversation. See, I'm willing to have the conversation. That's why a lot of times that, often we were considered bullies or whatever. I mean, I'm not ignorant to it. I get it. But I want to have the conversation. I don't want to just sit there and go to my Discord and talk smack on somebody. I want to, say, hey, look, John Doe or Jane Doe, I'm not sure about this information here. These are some outliers that I feel maybe contradict that. What are your thoughts? You know what I mean?
Hey, look, man, when it comes to the term 4K 60, we've talked about it. Several people in the community have talked about it. Some people take it more seriously than others. Some people don't care about 4K 60 or up to it or whatever the case is, right? Mm-hmm. But for me, I noticed that there's a lot of people, there's millions of people right now with 4K displays, whether that be in the form of a monitor, whether that be in the form of a TV. There's several platforms out here, including PC, that's using technology like dynamic super resolution or some kind of upscaling, right? Checkerboarding when it comes to Sony side or whatever the case is, and the Xbox side, like DLSS and all that stuff. Like, so the question has always been, why do people even care? Just game. But see, when I'm talking about the millions of people like myself, you go and you watch one of my videos, for example, and so many others who've broken down videos and streamed them at 4K 60. There's too many to name right now, y'all. But there's something there as far as the clarity, and it's all about preference and choice and all that, right? So when I use 4K 60, let me just give you one example. The Outriders video that's popular for most, maybe not so for a small percentage of people who might have checked that stream out. But it's titled Google Stadia, Outriders Day 1 Gameplay, 4K 60 stream featuring Series X version. Yeah. So in this stream, in this video right here, on the title alone should have told you 4K 60 stream. Stream is being streamed at 4K 60. Stadia is not native 4K 60. I never said anything like that. So I just want to clarify for the people that comes to my channel, or for the people that might be confused and behind the scenes saying, Storm, man, you keep talking this 4K, man, but bro, these games are not even in 4K. And there's times, I had to correct myself when it comes to the term I'm using 4K or whatever, and games have been running at 1080p, but might have been upscaled. So I think people understand where I'm trying to go with this. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just a matter of, if it's being upscaled to 4K, people are still using the term 4K. On the Xbox side, I'm over there too, y'all. Yeah. The PlayStation side, even though I got rid of my PS4 Pro for the PS5, which I still don't have my hands on yet, I've still been using PS Now. So not too many people are caring about that term. You know what I mean? They're not putting a whole lot of emphasis and focus on the term. They don't care how it gets there. They care about how it looks when it comes to you. Yeah. Now, I guess my content looks good, because I know plenty of people in the chat have said, yo, Storm, man, your content looks good, man. Keep on making these videos. Keep on playing everywhere. Keep on doing this, because, we appreciate it. Twisted Barber just reminded me that my content looks good. So that makes me smile, y'all. So 4K 60. Now, there's times when I might not put 4K in there at all. If the game's only 1080p and it's locked at 1080p, man, so that's just me. I'm trying to clarify real quick, Now, that's my take on it. But I don't think that people should be punished for using the terminology 4K and 4K 60 and and all that without putting the up to on it. It's just crazy, man. We've talked about it so many times that I'm just going to pass it back to you, because I don't think it really matters to a lot of people, man.
I look, here's the thing. So there's two things to be addressed here. Number one, the usage of those litmuses 4K 60, are they properly used on a game that isn't native 4K, or if a 60 frames per second mode isn't being utilized, right? Frames and resolution are different. You can't upscale frames, but you can upscale resolution. So the terminology on 4K has been so broad and so vast. It's so much to the point to where I don't know if it's still up by Xbox, but when the Xbox One first came out, the Xbox One X first came out, Microsoft and Xbox released this web page that had all the different variations of 4K, including dynamic scaling from this base and all this other stuff, all this crazy stuff. So there's a difference between 4K and native 4K. At the time, Xbox, remember when the Xbox One X was released, it was called, they were trying to call it true 4K. So it's just labeling or whatever, but at the end of the day, and shout out to those that were saying this early on, focusing so much on native 4K is going to be a thing of the past as this AI and machine learning gets so much better at what it's doing. I will say a upscale 4K from a 1080 is a lot more noticeable than one from a 14, even a 1400p or 1800p. But beyond that, you can have a 4K signal from something that is at base of 1080, from 1080p. Now, here's what I discovered with Outriders, which was at the center of the conversation that I was having. Or I thought I discovered, because even after I said, "Ooh, I'm wrong," I realized something else that was going on with my CCU. There are times to where, depending upon the game, if you can go in the settings of your CCU and put your settings at 4K mode or quality mode, but then you can also go in the game and toggle between quality mode and performance mode, you're going to get upscaled resolutions even in the performance mode. So just because you go to performance mode, if that signal that's being transmitted from that CCU is 4K, then things like your TV or your capture device, in my case, is going to recognize it as 4K. So if someone says, "Look, I got a 4K stream," like in the case of my homie Storm, it's a 4K stream. Now, if somebody says something to the effects of Outriders plays natively at 4K 60, then that's wrong. That's wrong. But the former that we described is nothing specific to Stadia. That's where I'm having my problem. I'm not entertaining that because it was made to seem like that this is a Stadia thing. All you got to do is type 4K, type 60, and type Xbox gameplay, PlayStation gameplay, and you'll see the plethora of content creators that use that. I used to do that before I even knew what the hell a Stadia was. So this is not a Stadia thing. This is a streamer thing. And sometimes streamers can get their wires crossed, or they may pronounce it incorrectly. In Storm's case, I don't think you pronounced it incorrectly. You said 4K 60 stream. That is what you had your settings set to in OBS. That's the settings that was coming through your capture card. That's what it was. And that's important to some people because some people, even though the native resolution may be something different, they want a slightly sharper image on their phone or on their tablet. So even though the native resolution is 1080, for them it might look better if they bump it up to 4K. You see what I'm saying? We don't have this conversation. But people that are ignorant to that will try to make it seem like it's something else. So I just want to say that it's not a Stadia thing. It's a content creator thing. And if you don't believe me, type in 4K 60 XYZ gameplay with anything else. Those are my thoughts on it. But go ahead, Storm.
And just to clarify, again, not every game is going to be 4K 60, y'all. We know that. For the ones that's 4K 30, but not a well-optimized 4K 30, I'm inclined to pass on those until they could be updated or whatever, or give me a performance mode or something that the game can run at 60 FPS, because people who really know resolution and frame rate, for those people, you know what I'm talking about. It's hard to play games sometimes at 30 when it's unoptimized, where you get stutters and, the background might be blurry, stuff like that. And then some games like Ease 8, for example, I did that stream and I put 4K 60 because, hey, I heard everywhere that this game is at 4K 60. You know what I mean? Native 4K 60. Tomb Raider, Shadow of the Tomb Raider, native 4K 60 at times. So, man, look, to cover everything, you might just see me put the 4K 60 tag on it, y'all. I just want to put that out there because some people have had concerns, not just now, recently, but before.
Yeah, in the past, yeah. No, the term 4K is so loose right now that, and again, I get a lot of us are new to this. Y'all weren't around for Grass Gate. Who's been around for Grassgate? I want y'all to, if y'all were around for Grassgate and y'all know what the hell that is, right now put ones in the chat. While you're doing that, I want to give a shout out to Aminor for the $10 sticker. Thank you, my good brother. I love you as always. If you know what Grassgate is, put a 1 in the chat. For those that don't know what Grassgate is, that's when Digital Foundry was reviewing, I think, GTA 5 on Xbox One versus PlayStation 5.
I remember that.
And the only thing that they could distinguish between the two was the quality or the sharpness of the grass that was in the field, right? And ever since then, that's what they say. That's when because then the fanboys of PlayStation were excited. And they said, aha, see, our system is better. And they ran with that for the entire generation, right? And that's when Digital Foundry started to become at its apex. So if you were around for Grassgate, then you know that Digital Foundry a billion times over helped you understand the different versions of 4K that's out there. There's native 4K. There's an upscale or dynamic 4K. Okay. So when you see just plain old 4K, that could be a 4K upscaled from anything. All right. From any native resolution. Don't take native resolution pixel count that's done by good brothers like Original Penguin. He's doing the Lord's work out there. Shout out to him and others. Native resolution and an upscale 4K, they're different things. What Original Penguin is doing is he's helping you realize what is going to be the better 4K, because if it has more native pixels in it, it's going to have a sharper image right now. Until the AI machine learning gets that good to where that's not even going to matter. We're not there quite yet.
And also for the games that's not hitting 4K, they're just not hitting 4K, and that's cool. And you know, whether they're being upscaled or not, whatever the case is, man. Yeah. But it is what it is on that one.
Yeah. So but my thing is that with Outriders, what I noticed at first was I was like, I'm gonna make a video for my brother. And then when I went to go make my video, I noticed that my CCU kept omitting in 4K, and I really couldn't do the thing that I wanted to show my brother. So I said, hold on, he might be right about Outriders, it not upscaling to 4K on what's it called. But then I had to remember that because the CCU has that HDCP on it, which we're going to get into it, I had to brute force 4K. So all the data that I collect isn't right. So, I mean, that's here nor there. The point of the matter is that when it comes to streaming, you have streamers that are going by the stream quality, which is 4K. Now, if they're not, if the gameplay is capped at 30 and they're like it's 60 and they're showing you capped at 30 gameplay, that's different. You can't upscale frames, but you can upscale resolution. So I wouldn't be too hell-bent on that. That's my thought on it. And I think the biggest message is, again, let's not demagogue. This is not a Stadia thing. This is a streamer thing. You type in 4K 60, Xbox gameplay, PlayStation, whatever, and you PC gameplay, you'll see so many streamers out there that utilizes those same litmuses. So let's move on.
And if you want to know what's native or not, just search. You know what I mean?
Just search.
Hey, Outriders native 4K on Stadia or anything like that. It'll help you out. That's what I do most of the time. You know?
Yep. Look, if it's an Xbox, PlayStation, or PC game, you can there's Red Tech Gaming, I think, and then there's Digital Foundry that does those. And there's another pixel counter. And if it's for Stadia, you can go to our good brother Original Penguin. He does that. You know what I'm saying? So if you're looking to see what is the native resolution, I wouldn't go to a streamer. Streamers normally don't count pixels. What you're going to want to do is go to a pixel counter. If native resolution is that important to you, go to them, because the person that's streaming, they're going to look at the stream resolution. I am going to show y'all an example. Let me do this real quick. It's only going to take me a second. Hold on. Let me turn on my Stadia controller. But can you shout out the chat real quick? I just want to just highlight what I'm talking about real quick.
Man, I can't keep up with this damn chat, man.
I know.
It's just so much going on, man. Did we get Aminor with the $10?
We got the Aminor with the $10 sticker, yes.
All right. Okay. Oh, man. So right now, I want to go shout out some of the people that joined. Dr. Spaceman's in the building. Ray Sherrod is up in here, y'all.
Shout out to Dr. Spaceman.
Jeff is in the house, man. Jeff is in the house. That's my dog right there. Jeff, man. Y'all got to understand. Jeff is out here. I don't know if he still makes content or not, or not, but Jeff has been around for a minute, man. One of the first people to test my creator game that I created, man. I'll never forget Jeff. And we got who else? I saw some new names as we were going, man. We got Sean L is in the house now, y'all. We have
oh, they ain't gonna let me show y'all. Dang it.
Who else, man? Squid joined us, y'all. Check out Squid, man. Raging Jacob is in the building. Hey, we'll appreciate Patrick's up in here. And we'll appreciate everybody, man. Dre from DKG. All right. That's Dre Keekins Gaming. I think I pronounced that right, man. But yeah, we got a lot of people up in here riding out with us right now. And look, the show must go on, y'all. The show will go on. We have other topics to discuss. But that 4K thing was a big one for me, man, because a lot of people. I know. Hey, MM, a lot of people like GeForce Now. We're going to end this 4K topic right now, y'all. We're going to end it. But a lot of people are like, hey, man, GeForce Now 1080p. I'm not the only one focusing on this, y'all, for example, right? Luna 1080p. They're like coming soon. 4K is coming soon. Why would they bother with 4K? Because they know 4K is the truth on the 4K displays. That's going to be the best showcase of your the performance of your platform when it comes to visual, y'all. Just think about that for a minute. For the people that don't care about 4K. I do want to show
what's going on here and why this isn't a streamer thing. You know, I mean, why this isn't a Stadia thing. And I think I can highlight it. Let me do this here. Most streamers, if this damn thing, this thing takes forever to go through, and we got a few moments for phone calls. If we can go, you want to go like 10 after till 10 after one storm? All right, we're gonna highlight phone calls.
Chariot Man, we got Chariot Man Gaming in the house. Gamers in here. Who else? Man, I can't keep up. But look, yeah, we could do that. But again, we have other things that we definitely can be talking about now.
Oh yeah, definitely. But I just want to show this real quick because we put our money where our mouth is, right? So let's see here. Let me go here, and let me do a little something like the. Hold on, where is the window? Okay, we're gonna do a little something like this. Come on. Now the display. What? Oh, come on, man! Don't play with me,
man. If it's not working, put it aside. Put it aside. Let's go on.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? Had the people out here waiting. What's wrong with you?
It don't even want to show it now. Damn it! No, but I wanted to show what the streamers are actually looking at. They're looking at the display settings that are on their screen. They're not looking at. I know what I did. Here it goes. Right? Or no?
Bro, you got 30 seconds, man.
I thought I did it.
30 seconds to get it right, bro. We're going to keep on moving forward.
Let's go. Well, what it is they're looking at the display settings of the signal that they're getting. And I was going to show real quick, like even if I go from high frame rate to resolution mode, the signal that they're getting is 4K. They got 50 megabytes per second pumping through, which is 4K settings. The YouTube itself will recognize it as 4K. So if you're talking about the quality of the stream, then yes, they're accurate. Now, if they got it capped at 30, it's not 4K 60, it's 4K 30. But if they don't have the frames capped, if the frames are set to 60, the stream quality is 4K, then they're not lying. I just wanted to show that, but now it won't let me put it on the screen. But that's here nor there. We're beyond that. With that being said, let's get to it. Outriders, my good brother. Outriders. What's up with that, man? Shout out to John Scar. He just put something out here where, and John, if you're still watching, Clive said 21 seconds to comply.
Yeah, John, you know what I'm saying, Clive? You know what I'm talking about, man? I mean, holding the people up like that, man. We're going to talk after the show, man. MM knows how we do it. Like, don't you ever hold the good people up out here, man. Talking about,
let's open these phone lines, too.
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's open the phone lines. Let me also do this because I know the next time I go to stream, this will be something that hurts me big time because I always forget to shut that off. All right, so if y'all want to call in, it is 724. Oh, hold on. Ain't right. 724. It's been so long since we had a damn show that I done forgot the damn number. It's 724-739-3612. If you want to be like our good brother G Million with the crazy yappas, then we're going to give you the yappa information. Let me get back here to so many damn screens, y'all. Jesus.
Hey,
jeez.
Taking interviews for the SML podcast again. Clive,
listen to this dude on my channel.
If you're interested, Stadia Revolution. So many more of you out there. G Millie, if you want a spot on the SML podcast, because MM2K is about to bite the damn bullet.
724-739-3612. Definitely give us a call if you want to talk about Stadia 100, if you want to talk about that whole CCU thing or whatever else that we're going to get into. Storm, Outriders.
What's up, man?
Shout out to John Scar. We was just talking about this. Now we hit hard on this on Thursday, man. Even though we're called Stadia Shields, we said, look, man, even though we are running across situations where people are like, my gameplay is good, it's not universal enough. And therefore, we can't recommend buying it right now. You know what I'm saying? We can, but we don't speak for the whole community. We just, we speak for, your platform, my platform, Stadia Dosage.
Yep.
However, John Scar showed us a link to what looks like an email that somebody got that says that a new Stadia patch is coming next week. So I gotta find John Scar's link. But yeah, man, that's some serious news. What do you think about that? What do you got to say about that?
I think that's major. I remember being on stream talking about the fact that was going to happen. I can't imagine that people can fly and Square Enix is sitting around just resting when they see the success of the game. That it's just, this is what I'm talking about. It's okay to wait. So many people were hell bent on Cyberpunk, man, that they were just like, I'm refunding the game. Me, I kept my version of the game, both versions of the game, because I double dipped on Stadia and PC, right?
Yeah.
So both versions of the game I kept because I'm like, one day this game is going to improve. Now I know, hey, it comes down to what you feel and what you value as a gamer, right? But for me, I knew the Stadia version was going to get patched, and I knew the community was going to make some noise. I knew that other people were going to be showcasing the same thing, the same hiccups and freezes and drops and server disconnects that I did. You know what I'm saying? And so I would say now is the time for you to jump in for those who have waited. When that patch comes out and it patches everything up to the point, and I know a lot of content creators are going to be breaking that down the day of the patch when it does drop. Yeah. But for me, I might be in your chat watching your videos because I'm not going to rush out there. And I don't advise people to do that. I couldn't push people out there to throw their $60 away for a game that they're not going to have a great experience on, So that's my whole take on it, y'all. Just to clarify again, if it needed to be clarified, that's what I meant in my stream when I broke down my thoughts on the game and why I refunded it, right? Yep. Outriders is one of the most, it's just one of the highly sought after games, man. It was just a popular game for me. I was waiting for it, man. I anticipated the hell out of it. So of course I'm not going to sit there and just accept an experience like that is kind of broken to me. Absolutely. But I think it's the patch is coming out, M2K. I think that, we all knew it was going to happen. I want the same thing to happen for Dirt 5. I really want them to, polish that up. And when they do, you're going to see me streaming for hours and hours and hours. I will buy Outriders on Stadia if that patch comes out and it gets the game on par with my Series X. Because the Series X version of the game, minus the freezing, it freezes at time, crashes to desktop a lot of times, y'all.
For real?
I counted like 6-7 times that it crashes the desktop, crashed the desktop. I was playing with Link yesterday. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Link, Chase, Kill, playing the game, just testing it out. You know what I'm saying? And it crashed, like it froze. Like things are still happening across the board. So it's not like a Stadia specific thing that's going on with the game, but it is polished as hell over there on the Series X, though, I will say.
Look, I get that I can't speak to Dirt, but I can speak to Outriders. I get that for Outriders, there's universal problems, but because there's so many options, we're able to tweak it. And I'm going to tell you, for PC, and I didn't get it for PlayStation 5 yet, but for PC and even GFN, perfectimo. You know what I'm saying? I can't even front on that one, man. So look, if your if you're struggling with the Stadia, I love Stadia. Y'all know we part of the Stadia 100 camp. I love Stadia. But with this one, it kind of didn't cut the mustard, in my opinion. If you had, it hurts me because I really want to play it on Stadia because Stadia is so versatile. But it's pretty cool to be able to play it natively on my PC and then use GFN because this GFN port is heavily optimized and I can play that. And it's working on the dongles where normally for me, GFN doesn't work on the dongle. The only hiccup for me is the phone. I still get hiccups on the phone with GFN. With that, where I know I wouldn't with Stadia. So with that said, GFN has a great port. But I'm glad to see that it's coming next week, man. So that's good news. Again, we got the phone lines open at 724-739-3612. Give us a call or go to the pntsnetwork.com website. Hit up that Yappa section and we'll do some viewer mail. With that said, let's go on to the next one. FIFA. FIFA is getting upgraded as well. There was a notification from Grace. Shout out to Grace and the community, man. Sending out those notifications. It's not their fault. Look, let me say this real quick. And Storm, I know you definitely got something passionate to say about this. When there's these issues with Stadia, the community members aren't the programmers, okay? You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what, when I go to a restaurant, I view the relationship like this. When I go to a restaurant, if my server is on it and she takes note and is attentive to me, or he is attentive to me, and they are doing their best job, if the kitchen messes up something, I'm still going to give that server a tip. But what I'm just going to do is I'm going to go to the manager and complain about the kitchen. I don't blame the kitchen. I don't blame the server for what the kitchen did. Now, there are some times to where it is the server's fault. And it's very clear when it's the server's fault. But if it's something that clearly happened in the kitchen, then I'm going to put things in its proper bucket. And I think that this, whatever issues that we may have or concerns or questions we may have for Stadia main or Stadia, the higher powers that are making the decisions, I think it's indicative of us to at least be respectful and courteous to the community members because they're doing the best. Trust me, they're doing the best job that they can. And shout out to Grace for putting this information when it became available to her. I guarantee you that if Grace could have got, and she could pick up the phone and call EA and get answers on this, call Square Enix and get answers on this faster, and would be allowed to do so, she would do it her damn self. But it's not up to her. The information gets facilitated to her. She facilitates it to us. So I just want to keep that in mind. But now that I've babbled enough about that, Storm, what do you think about this upgrades coming to FIFA? And there's an article from 9 to 5 Google, shout out to them, highlighting it. What do you think about that?
Nah, I really think that, first of all, it's a game that millions of people play. A big game, a game that was highly anticipated, man. That's another one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yep. FIFA, Madden, Star Wars on the platform, y'all. We talk about it all the time. So I didn't even know that there was a save file issue because I guess I didn't play that much of the game. Like I didn't start like a campaign or anything like that. So I didn't know. But it's good that 9 to 5 Google was able to break this down. Shout out to Ben Schoon, I think. I'm not sure. Yep. I don't know if it's Schoon or Schoon, but for breaking that down, because again, and this right here is the informative piece that we keep talking about, man. Like when I read it, it was just that, and it says right here in one paragraph, like EA's FIFA 21 was a huge get for Stadia, but the game's port has a frustrating issue that affected save files, right? While a fix has not been rolled out yet to the otherwise excellent port, FIFA 21 may soon see that patch on Stadia. Grace, Stadia's community manager, confirmed on Reddit that Google has been in touch with EA on FIFA 21 save fix that could roll out as soon as next week. So here we are, another game recently released, MM2K. Mm-hmm. We're hearing that we're hearing that Outriders and now FIFA and Dirt, the developers have told us to stay tuned for a patch that's coming in the near future for Dirt 5 or whatever. That's the communication that a lot of people like to see. I know I like to see it. You know, so it seems like they're working harder on communication, man. So that's my overall point when it comes to the people that's like, okay, the communication needs to be better. It could be better. It's just not as good as it should be and all that. Well, these things need to be improved over time. Like Clive and you and so many people have been saying, guys, just have patience. Stadia Rev and so many other people, man. Chase, so many people, right?
Yep.
Guys, sometimes you just have to have a little bit of patience and these things will get worked out. And now we're seeing that. So it makes me happy as somebody who's invested heavily into Stadia, you know, and that's play hours and monetary wise, right? I put some hundreds into the platform already. If not, if I haven't broken that 1,000 mark, I'd be very surprised, y'all. I mean, think about it, and I did so knowing that all of that gossip was out there. Stadia's about to die. What the hell are you doing, Project Storm? You're a dummy. You're a fool. All that was going on, and I still decided to drop my cash, y'all. Because why? When I go back to the other platforms, for me, it's just not the same, right? Doesn't mean that that's a bad experience, but it's just not Stadia. For all of you Stadians out there, you know what the hell I'm talking about. So I hope I don't sound too crazy saying it, but it's something special about being able to play on Stadia up to 4K 60 FPS, y'all. It's something magical about seeing how many indie titles, and we need to get on that. We need to talk about those indie titles that's coming to Stadia as well. Oh man, because so there's so much to be excited about, and to be able to just to read that they're communicating clearly and they're seeming to update us more rapidly and frequently. I can dig that.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. So again, phone lines are open, 724-739-3612. Let me put it back in here. Or you can go to pntsnetwork.com, go to the Yappa section, leave us a Yappa, and we'll definitely play it live on air. Last but not least, Storm, before we wrap up, is this thing with the CCU, right? So I want to caution that if it sounds like that we're dancing around this subject, it's because, and this is one thing that does confuse me about the about Stadia, that hopefully someone that may be a little bit more familiar with this can help us understand. So when you have the CCU, which a lot of people feel gives you the best fidelity and performance when it comes to Stadia the majority of the time, that if you try to play your CCU through a capture device, that there is an HDCP blocker. And what that is, and I forget what the acronym's for, but it blocks the stream going through anything that can record footage from it, right? And the CCU has some of the strongest HDCP, stringent HDCP blocking on it. So what people normally do to get past that, so they can play on their CCU, their favorite way to play, get that tasty 4K 60 goodness. I'm talking about stream quality, y'all. Relax. That 4K 60 stream quality goodness. And be able to show it to you. We've had Project Storm do it. We have our good friend Lloyd from NerdNest do it. They ran the CCU through a splitter, and then that splitter would strip the HDCP blocking, and you would be able to stream from your CCU. Well, what Google has done recently, from what I could see, is they've done a couple of things to where if yours network card has HDCP stripping capabilities, or you're using a splitter which has HDCP stripping capabilities, you'll either get a warning message that says, you can't watch this. You'll either get a green screen, or at best, the highest resolution you can get is a 1080p stream from that. And it's and for all intents and purposes, it's something that Google did. Now, I've discovered, I was talking to Storm about it. I said, damn, Storm, what's going on, man? I want to be able to stream in 4K 60, capabilities, because now I got this new capture card and I want to be able to do it. And I couldn't, but I've discovered a way to do it. Now, you guys are going to say, what is it? I can't tell you. Why can't I tell you? Now, again, this is going to sound cold, because Stadia or Google, for some reason, is so hard pressed on this HDCP technology on the CCU, and I don't get it. Storm, what is the why do you think they're so hard knock on this? Why don't they want to show streaming of Stadia, particularly, in the greatest light possible? What are your thoughts on that?
Man, I had a couple theories in the beginning when I learned that I couldn't just get out and go when it comes to 4K streaming and stuff like that, man. I did have a couple theories. At first, I was like, man, I don't know. They're just not ready for everybody to showcase 4K
Yeah.
because of their internet connectivity. That was just one of my crazy theories or whatever that I had. And I know people had to be thinking about it. If you make videos, you make content or whatever, I'm sure you probably put a little bit of thought into why that HDC, which is the high bandwidth digital content protection, is what it really means, So I don't know. It was crazy. But when I learned from Andy Morphs and other people, man, Bill, Lloyd, whoever, like they dropped some very informative videos of how to stream. And that was the happiest Stadia gamer. I don't even know if I would be, hey, bro, if I couldn't stream Stadia gameplay at 4K 60 I might not be on this panel with you right now, bro.
Yep.
Like, because I wanted people to see how good the experience is. So it's very serious for me. But I don't know exactly what their reasoning is. Somebody in the chat might have already shared it, might be able to share it. I don't know, y'all. But I just know that when I did a couple streams, like the Sekiro stream and another stream I did recently, and I ran into these issues, and I'm like, damn, I've just been able to plug and play. Now, it's not a Stadia specific thing. I had to say that when you plug the CCU into your TV, perfectly fine. Everything's fine. So I don't know what the problem is, man, but I do know that it is something that it seems to be something that's going on. That's all I can say.
There's some hissing
and if it's fine for everybody else, let us know. It might just be a us thing. I don't know.
Y'all hearing some hissing on my side, y'all?
I hear a little bit.
It's weird. Okay.
It just went in and out.
Yeah. So the thing is that, yeah, Storm, I'm glad you said that. Shame on me for making it seem like a Stadia thing. It could just be a Google not wanting anything transmitted from its CCU to be recordable. But particularly the current CCU, there's only the Chromecast Ultra, not the Google TV. I don't know if there's an HDCP component on the Google TV. There probably is. But for the Chromecast Ultra, my guess is that by now, because of the success of the Google TV, I mean, it's considered the best damn thing everywhere. I think that the overwhelming majority of people that are utilizing the CCUs now, or I could be wrong, I don't have no figures, but I think, well, I'll put it like this: a good portion of people using the CCU Storm are people that are playing Stadia. So my question, and especially now that the Google TV is out, it seems like that with the Google TV, when the Google TV came out, it became more difficult. But maybe that answers my question now that I'm talking this out in my head. Maybe the HDCP technology is just universal from Chromecast to Chromecast, and maybe they just made it stronger with the release of the Google TV, and maybe they weren't thinking about Stadia at all. I was just curious because it's a bummer that it's that way, but I just urge you guys and gals to do your research. There's a way around it. I'm not going to say it because I don't want to put it out there and then they take it away because it's very expensive in order to do. But with that said, I think that's it for the show, Storm. That's it.
Well,
go ahead, brother.
Now, I was going to shout out Eddie Player One, who's in the building. Ralph Haley's in the building. Thanks for joining everybody that joined in a little later. Eddie was saying it's probably your noise gate that's making that noise or whatever, your noise gate in the settings.
Yeah, but I'm gonna check something out.
But it is what it is. It is what it is. So yeah, man. Other than that, we can wrap it up because we have something special. We got some things to do behind the scenes, y'all. You know what I'm saying? And again, I do want to thank everybody for joining in. I was supposed to host this thing today. So shout out to MM2K for at the last minute being able to put this thing together, y'all. Hey, that's what we have to do sometimes. That's what teamwork is all about. But look, I'll go into look. I'll tell you right now. Recently, I've been having a lot of fun just streaming Stadia and other services and everything, and I'll continue that, guys. I
Mm-hmm.
have something special planned. I won't tell you what it is right now. I do have something special in the form of good old Stadia content though that will be coming up soon.
Yeah,
So check me out. Make sure y'all
definitely.
subscribe. Project Storm, y'all. Follow me on Twitter at the Nephophiliac. Um, and then we'll go from there. SSC, SML podcast, MM2K. You can jump into that, y'all. But hey, good show, good discussion. I think these discussions are always tricky, y'all, because you
Mm-hmm.
want to go into one, you want to venture off a little bit, go in a whole different direction, but then you have to think about it like, wait a minute, man. We have a theme right here that we're trying to follow. Yo, there's so much more that we can discuss, and we will be doing that at different times, y'all. So stay tuned in the very near future. That's what I'll say.
And again, I think it was a great discussion. Um, I will say this. I am so overwhelmed by the positive reception of the Stadia 100 campaign. Why am I so overwhelmed? Because y'all just don't understand. Y'all understand how much you mean to us in our efforts of wanting to give back. And this is us wanting to give back to you guys and gals, you ladies and gentlemen, you all that have made this possible. We're now over 1,600 here on Stadia Dosage, closing in on 1,000 Twitter followers. We got so many members, new members. We got a new one, Clive. Shout out to Clive, my spiritual advisor. All things Stadia, now new to the member community. By the way, member community, my deepest apologies. As y'all can see, I'm having all types of technical difficulties. I'm going to find out a way. So all of the member content this week had to be put on hold except for the after party. So we're going to figure out something, but we're going to get it fixed before the end. Before next week starts, because I got some other parts coming too. But yeah, I've been having technical difficulties. Now y'all hearing this hissing. I don't know what the hell's going on. We're gonna figure it out.
Want it. You have two kidneys, man. I mean, all you got to do is just sell one and get that 3090 wig. You know what I'm saying? That 3090. You know you want to do it, man.
You know what? I think if I got the 3090, but I figured out my problem last night. That's why I sent you that subliminal tweet where I said,
Right.
watch out for MM3.5K. I found out what the problem is, Storm. Is crazy. All I got to say is OBS.
There's no imminent risk, no threat at all, y'all. I'm safe. Project Storm 4K. Just on 8K.
Talk that
MM2K
stuff, Storm.
Not ready, y'all. I don't know
Talk
how
that
many
stuff,
of you are
baby.
ready out there, but I'm throwing these shots out there. Right? Hey, Project Storm, man, I'm on a different level when it comes to this 4K.
Talk that stuff, baby.
And I'm not recording right now, y'all. I'm just streaming videos right now. Most of my content people might not know, but I'm streaming these videos for y'all, man. So I can make like 15 videos a day. I'm just being a little brash right now.
Yeah.
I can make 15 minutes a day. By the time it takes y'all to process one video, I'm already at 15, 20 streams. Man. Get on my level. Get on my level, y'all. Now, I'm just talking trash. Y'all know what it is. I appreciate each and every one of y'all. But, man, look, I'm telling you, I'm putting the effort out there. It's time for me to turn up even more, though. Time for me to turn up.
But we're so gracious to you all for the support. Again, Stadia 100, it's a tool set to bolster content. More to come for those that want to be in the planning stage. You know, that will, in decency and order, that time will come. Stay tuned. We got more great ways to do that coming as well. It's not as, sometimes I'll just say this. Sometimes and again, I don't want to, because shout out to people like my homie Happy Cloud Gamer. Shout out to you. Happy Cloud Gamer means no malicious to anybody. He's a great stand-up guy. He does not mean anything to anybody. It's just sometimes we have differences of opinions, or we may look at things through different lenses, and sometimes that lens may not be from 5,000 feet. So shout out to Happy Cloud Game. He means no harm to anybody.
Hey, first of all, Happy said what he had to say. Mm-hmm. I can respect that. Yep. You know what I'm saying? And one thing Happy is not doing, I hope, is crying about the fact that we have a certain take and opinion on, because we have to have these discussions. People, I feel like that, MM2K, you know how I am, man. I feel like if you say something, the community should answer. It doesn't have to be an attack like what we've seen recently on Stadia Revolution or other people that in the community and all that stuff. And that's where you start getting into the attacking nature and the bullying comments and stuff like that. Man, I don't know. I don't know about all that. The bullying. I don't feel like I've ever been bullied before.
Like I highlighted. I'm not gonna get back into it because I told you I would leave it alone because it don't bother.
The longer we go, I'm telling you right now, the truth will start to come out, man. So
it's something. No. I'm talking about this specific situation. I'm not. It didn't bother me. It was like how me and my brother this Thursday. Y'all saw it. This Thursday, we did not agree on a particular thing, and it wasn't an attack on anybody. We didn't agree, and we said we're gonna take this to the stage. You know what I'm saying? Look, y'all. I come from an era where, and Storm comes from this era too. But hip hop was a big thing in my growing up, and we would have things called the cipher, where you go and you freestyle and you be battle rapping and all that other stuff, and y'all be I'm this and that, and you can't do this, and you know what I'm saying. And then at the end of it, we all smile each other up and loving each other in a brotherhood. So yeah, you can challenge each other, and when you're done challenging each other, love each other at the same time. So when somebody challenges me, or challenges something that I say or a notion that I'm on, I don't mind. It's, even when they try to get personal with it, I'll be like, oh, y'all want to play that game? Let's play that game. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But at the end of the day, I can still love you and virtually hug you at the end of that. There's a lot of people not built like that. So you got to take that into mind, into consideration. That being said, there's nothing competitive about the Stadia 100 campaign. You're going to hear. There's one thing when people like Happy Cloud Gamer have questions or concerns, and they say, look, this is my concern, and this is why. And shout out to Adam, Original Penguin, too. He had a great thread out there. I love my brother for that. That was fantastic. Where he was like, look, my knee-jerk reaction was this, but then I thought about it, and now I realize it's this, but I still have these concerns. That's great. But I'm here to tell you, this is me speaking, not nobody on the committee or anything. This is me, because I got to keep it real. You're going to have people that are going to swear to you that this is designed to cause division. And for people with that mindset, I'm going to let you breeze. But for you, the listening public, you got to think about that. If I can wake up in the morning and say, I want some martial arts flicks, and I go on to Well Go USA and I find martial arts flicks, does that damage other movie, viewing pleasures? If I wake up and I say, look, I'm steadfast, I want to see some PlayStation commentary, and I go to Kinda Funny, does that mean that that's a damage to Xbox or whatever? If I wake up and I say I want to listen to We Bleed Green, or a lot of the community now that love RDX, does that mean that you hate PlayStation? No. People want specific things sometimes. When Storm gets off of here, he's going to fire up his Xbox. When I get off of here, I'm going to play some more Outriders on GFN. Don't believe the hype. That's all I'm going to say. Don't believe the hype. For those of you that are adamant that this is what this cause is about, number one, they're not in the discussion, so they're not privy. This is that armchair quarterbacking. And secondly, we're here to tell you, I done told you 1,000 ways over. Clive has told you 1,000 ways over. This is an initiative to unite and help viewers get the stuff that they want. And we're going to tap into the community for more suggestions, more ways to make this grow and make this better. But with that said, that's all I have for the show.
Super chat, man. Did you get that?
Shout out to Aminor. Crazy. He said, I appreciate you guys. Great content, even if I don't play on Stadia, and I like to hate on it. Oh, you love to hate on it, good brother. But with that said, go ahead, Storm. What you got to say before you close us out, good brother?
Not much, man. Let me just say this right here. This is right here. This is real. This is why you come here. This is why you come to the Stadia Doses news platform, man. This is why you come stop by Project Storm right here. Shout out. How many times now? I keep going back to Chase. I'm gonna go back to Chase real quick, right? Because Chase has told us several times about the discourse. We can have discourse and do all that, right? Now, Chase came out recently with his tweet. Y'all on Twitter, y'all know what it is. Jack came back with his response, right? Man, that's another example of what we're talking about. But that doesn't stop me from linking up with Chase and playing these games. Chase is a man. Chase didn't do anything. Chase didn't steal my wife. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just trying to get people to learn how to think. I challenged what Andy Morph said a couple weeks ago or whatever about his Game Pass comment. But Andy, I just shouted out in the chat.
I just gave Andy a shout out. Yep.
He was one that put me down with how to get audio through my when using the splitter and all that good stuff. The video is out there. Check it out. This is what we're gonna do, people. And Andy's here right now saying thanks for the mention, Project Storm. So just to let people know, like this it's gonna happen, y'all. It's gonna happen where we do push a little bit. We might not be clear and we might put things out there like Adam did or whatever. But then you come back and you think about everything, people. We're humans and we have voices. We have a freedom of speech, y'all. We do have a freedom of speech. And so many people I know, like Eddie Player One, has been vocal. Man, y'all, I mean, so many of us, y'all, you know what it is, man. Bibbity bop, everybody in this chat, man. This is going to happen. Now, do we want to live in Kansas and La La Land and all that stuff? Y'all, I keep asking that question, right? Do we want to be, hey, everything's great, brother, sister, how are you? Every day is the same thing.
Some do.
If them 2K, your house look like mine, man. What? You change your painting on your wall? It's supposed to be green. No, it's not going to happen, y'all. Like, we have difference of opinions. We have different ideas. Somebody's going to launch in 2 hours. Watch. Somebody's going to drop a new update, an announcement, and saying, hey, this is the movement right here. We're going to do this right now for Stadians or GeForce Now or Luna or whatever, right? We're not going to go after them, y'all, with the pitchforks or whatever. It's a part of what we do. It's a part of gaming. This is what we love. So I just wanted to throw that reminder, that message out there before we get off air today.
Yeah, people have the reason to express whatever they want to express, what they feel about Stadia 100. That's fine. But perception is 9/10 of the law, and you know what I'm saying. And men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie. The vast majority of us are operating for a community that are either positive or prefer Stadia. It is what it is. They want Stadia specific content. It may not be the only thing that they want, but they may wake up and they say, you know what, I just want to do some talk on Stadia, or I just want to see streams about Stadia. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. We've heard that cry. The people have told us that. We've been telling the community about it. The community has done it however way they wanted to do it. That's fine. We decided that this is the way that we were going to answer the call. And that's what we've done. Anybody else that says that it's anything beyond that isn't part of the committee, you can fill in the blanks, okay? With that being said, that's it from us. Thank y'all so much. We love y'all. And until next time, y'all have a wonderful gaming day, man. Peace.
That's right there. That's for the chat. That's for the community, y'all. Love y'all. Peace.
Love y'all. Peace.